Hi everyone, so I can just about get that in shot. It's a canvas that I picked up at the thrift store, secondhand charity shop, whatever you want to call it. And it is so thick with paint. Hope you can see that. So many paints on it. So thick. And it's just yummy. It feels really nice. So I want to Get Messy May, and I'm a little bit late getting to the party, but here I am. So the first prompt is new. So what I'm going to do is take this off of its frame. You'll see it's got a frame here. Oh, there you go. There's the price. $2. So I'm going to take it off its frame, and I'm going to cover an old book that I've got, which is this one here. So it's a really old book, and I'm not sure from when. Let me see if I can find a date. Oh, 1976, so yeah, old enough. But lovely colour, brown, and it's got that beautiful sewn-in pages. So I've taken a whole load of pages out and left just enough so that I can make this into an art journal. So really loving that. So this is going to be wide enough to be able to cover that. So I'm just going to take all the staples out, and then I'll be back to show you how I'm going to go about covering that journal. I'm not sure if I can take the staples out on camera or whether I'm going to have to get some pliers to them. I haven't taken apart one of these before. So let me just see. Oh yeah, there you go, look. They come out pretty well with just a normal staple remover. Some are in harder than others. Yeah. Looks like it'll rip easy as well, so I'm going to have to be very careful here. Get some trusty pliers. Anyway, I'll carry on with that, and I'll be back in a minute when I've taken them all out. Right, to be honest, it's really hard trying to get it out with that thing. So I went and got a screwdriver, and what I'm basically doing is going deep down into the frame, going under the staple, and then using the pliers to get the staples out, because they're in, like whoever made this intended for it to stay as a painting on a frame. That's for sure. There we are. That's it, totally taken apart. So let's take the frame out. Don't know what I could use that for. See if somebody wants to recycle it. Let's get rid of the staples. Look at what we've got. So there we have it. Just a flat canvas now. It is quite thick, but it's going to be ideal for our book cover. So it won't need all of it, and the good part about having the staple marks, I think, is that that bit can be the bit that folds over. So as it were, that will go, for instance, under there, and then that will fold around. So this end won't quite be as wide, but yeah, okay, good. So what I think I might do first off is just cut the size. So we'll definitely have that come round there, and around there. That will be enough to fold over. So I need to cut it up here. Just trying to keep it straight so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm definitely going to fold it over there and bring it down to the line here, and then cut up. So because it's canvas, I think I'll use my fabric scissors, and I'm going to leave myself just a bit of extra room just to make sure. It's actually quite hard to cut through because the paint is so thick on the other side. Right, so I'm sure I'll be able to do a pocket or something else with that leftover bit. So let's pop that round there. Now let's have a look here. I'll remove this until I start gluing. Seems to be a habit now, putting that down first to make sure I don't get my desk all dirty. So that will go there. Fold that over. And this will come around here, like that. And fold around into there, like that. And that will be the front of my Messy May journal. I really like that. So awesome. And so unique. And I can add to it and do what I like to it. So, yeah, it's going to be really good. Now, to secure it, I think I'm going to need a strong glue. I'm thinking maybe even super glue to start with. Now, just in case you haven't done one of these books before or repurposed a book, I'll just go through. You can see that the spine here, where I've taken out all the pages, is way wider than the end of the book. This means that when you fill it up, you've got enough room to add lots of stuff to your journal. Alright, so really that's how it's supposed to look, sort of like a triangle going smaller at the outside. So you take enough pages out to be able to do that. Alright, so I just thought I would add that before I continue and put the cover on. Alright, so there's some Gorilla Super Glue, and I've also got some corners here. So I thought I would add those because it's so hard to cut. I'm not sure how the corners are going to end up. So let's turn this over. I used up what was left in my other super glue and just did along there. Just super glued it. It seems to be holding, so this is a good thing. Now we want to fold this under here. And then I'm going to cut across the corners. And normally you may do that first, but because it's such a hard kind of fabric to glue down, I'm doing the two edges and seeing how I go from there. And I'll just get my glue sheet back up. Yeah, that seems to be holding nicely, that side, with the super glue. Oh, I'm so happy with it, you guys. Look how cool it looks. It's great. Alright, let's get this super glue undone. You want to pull it around kind of tight. And here we go. I'm putting on quite a bit of super glue because I don't want it to come off. But trust me, you don't want this on your fingers. I've had it on my fingers so many times. I'm just going to put it on the edge of where this goes around as well, just to make sure that that grabs. Yeah, just about does anything. If I'm ever making something with hinges and I'm having trouble getting them to stick with matte medium, I'll always use super glue. So that's a little hint for you. No, that looks to be fine. I don't need to clamp it. So that's good. Let me check this side. Yep, that's all good. Fabulous. Right, let's trim it now. Across here. This one's been semi-trimmed here. Don't know what's happening with that. I think it was where it went on the frame. And this side. So remember, I'm going to put the corners on so it doesn't have to be 100% exact. Like I say, if you're going to cover a book, you would normally do this part first, but that's okay. We're doing it last. And it won't matter if it's not perfect. Because those corners will cover a multitude of sins. Alright, that's good. Great, and now we just need to find out where that bends and do ourselves a little bit of a cut there. Down to there. Down to there. And the same this end. And this end. Alright, and then we're going to, I don't know whether I'll be able to tuck that in actually. Let's try and do that. Tuck it in, because if you have a look where this book was bound, can you see in there? You can kind of get behind where the binding is here. See there? So I'm going to try and shove it in there. So if it's just as wide as the spine, I might be able to do that. It's more like sort of a loose cover, but anyway. Let's see if we can shove that in there. And that will look a lot neater, yeah, from the outside. That works. And this end, so you just want to make it as wide as the spine. So where we've cut on an angle here, you want to go back down here, just cut that sort of triangle out. It is quite hard because it's got a lot of paint on it. I'm going to try and shove that in there. If you kind of lift up the book a little bit, it goes in quite easily. And then what you've got is sort of a neat bit here and here. Hope you can see that all right. See there and there? So I've tucked it in behind the spine there. Okay. Fabulous. I love that. That is really very cool. Okay, let's go with this. And we'll stick this down here. So I'm just going to keep checking. Yeah, that there hasn't glued like I thought it would. Let's give it a bit more glue. It seems to be the canvas is taking up, it's sort of soaking up a lot of the glue. Couple of these help hold it into place like that. Haven't got another one. I'll have to see if I can find one. That's better. Yep, that's looking good. Right, let's do this side. Take it around, make sure it's still closing okay. That's good. Now we'll do this part here. What I have been doing is just cutting off this triangle here. It's Remember, I'm going to put a corner on, so any little bits that you see there, it won't matter. Up, pull it tight and over. Alright, last bit. This bit here. So the bottom is good because that's where it originally was folded anyway, so I am cutting off those bits though, like I said, because the canvas is quite thick. It's not folding over like a fabric or a paper would. Alright, that's pretty good, I reckon. Closes up fine. Look at that, you guys. It's so nice. And it's an old canvas, so we're recycling art. Oh, I love that so much. Alright, let's see if we can get these corners on. So, I just bought these, I think, probably from AliExpress, I don't know. Maybe off of eBay. Don't know. Can't remember where I got them. But let's see if we can get those. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's a bit of a trick with these. So you kind of need a pointy pair of pliers. And you want to just open them up just a little bit. So they go over all of the canvas or the fabric that you have for your corners. Like that. Sit them over the corner so that everything goes in nice and tight. Like this. And then maybe these sort of pliers. You just want to open them up and tighten it over the top. Just want to make sure it's right in. Then tighten it. And that should stay put. And that looks really cute. Alright, so open them up a little bit. It's just because the thickness, you see there, is not very thick. So it will go back over the top and it will close up. And at the back, they're sort of open here. So you can open them up and allow a thicker piece, like the piece we're working with today, just to fit in. Sometimes have to do it if you're using like a thick wool fabric or something like that. But yeah, you can see that the corner's not brilliant. Got a little bit of a hole there on the corner. This will hide a multitude of sins. So we just put it in. Make sure it slots right up into the corner. Now some people put glue up in there first, so you could do that as well. And then you just want to clamp it down. Clamp it down. Over the corners of your book. And that's not going anywhere. Alright, you see how nice that looks? Really lovely. Alright, now this corner is even rougher, can you see that? But I wasn't worried because I knew I was going to put my corner bits on, so that's stuck now. On, and you might be able to see the cover a little bit better. Look at that, you guys. So sweet. Let me bring you in closer. Right, that might be a little close. There. So, there we have it. That is my Messy May repurposed art journal cover. And I tell you, it feels absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to try and find something now. piece of fabric or something that I could stencil and write Messy May on there. But I'm really happy with how that's turned out. Really, really nice. And we pushed our corners into there, you can see, so it's gone down the back. So it looks fairly neat there. Yeah, really cool. Alright, let me go and find something so I can put a title on here. I've pulled out a couple of things, and I think like this, and then this is part of the canvas. So I'm going to do some stenciling on there, like this, and then this around here like that. So if I take that to my sewing machine, and then that will go on the front like that with Messy May written on it. So I think that will look pretty good. So let me just take it to my sewing machine, and then I think I'm going to put it on by putting 2 split pins through there and holding it from the other side rather than gluing it. Alright, let me go and sew those together. I'll be right back. Alright, so that worked out good. Just all sewn together. And now I'm going to just do Messy May on the front. And I think I'm going to use where the holes were before to use for the split pins. So I'm going to try and write Messy May somewhere down here. I don't know if Messy will fit in there. Let's have a look. See what I can do. I love these little stamps. They're really cool. Probably will fit. Doesn't come out very dark. Okay, there's a little bit of the corners of the stamps there. So I might just grab some gesso and just wipe that out a little bit. There, Messy May. And I've added a bit of gesso here and a bit here, obviously up here to cover those bits. Now I'm just going to get my split pins and my awl ready to put the tag on the front of my recycled art journal cover, ready for Messy May. Okay, so I've got my awl, and I've got an old book cover that I used to press down on. So I'm going to use the holes that were already there. Like that, and like that. Seems silly to make more holes, really. And then, where do I want it on here? So I'm thinking around about there would look good. I think that would be good. Grab a couple of your split pins, which is really easy, like this. Pop them through here, like that. And find your holes on here, which is just there. Sorry. And there. Like that. Turn it over and just push them down a little bit. Now, because we've got the canvas and that, of course, it's quite thick. but there is enough to be able to close the split pins, which is really good, like that. And that will hold that on. And then what you can do is you can cover it with tape or something like that if you really want to. I'll probably be doing journaling over the top of it. And then it ends up looking like that. So I'll just bring it up closer for you. So that is now our title on there. And it's better because it's sort of flowy rather than being glued down. And I like the split pins. It gives a nice look to it. So yeah, that's our Messy May art journal with its recycled art cover made from an old canvas. So turned out really well. So give it a go. If you've made one yourself, let me know and tell me how it went. And I'll be doing the Messy May challenge, so you'll see me back doing my Messy May challenges soon, I guess. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.